Hello, my name is Eric of Generation Eric, or Gen Eric, and I'm going to explain the rules for Generation Alpha. First, we'll go over the format, and then we'll go over frequently asked questions, basically questions that I could think of off the top of my head about the format. So, the setup for the format. There are 24 players. All 24 will be split into two rooms or groups. Rooms basically act as, you can only vote for people in your room. People can only vote for you in your room, unless an item tells you to do other, or says that you can do otherwise. So there's two rooms of 12 players, room 1 and room 2. And each room will have its own separate group chat. I'll make a group chat for you. Please stay in those group chats unless you are moved from your room to another room or outside of any rooms, or until you are eliminated. That will help in terms of keeping a roster of who is in each room to help you guys out, to help me out. And as well, I might provide updates, or I will provide updates in terms of voting deadlines and things like that. So let's narrow down to one room. So one room will have, or either of the two given rooms will have 12 players. The 12 players will be divided into 6 duos called tethered duos. And the way that tethered duos work is basically you and your tether must vote together for either of your votes to count. So if you both vote together, both votes count towards that person. However, if the two players vote separately, vote for different people, neither vote counts. And yeah, pretty simple in terms of explaining it, definitely more complicated in terms of other things, which I'll get to. The goal, each round you are voting to eliminate one player, so keeping that in mind, you are not voting for a duo, you are voting for a player. The one player with the highest number of counted votes will be eliminated. I will also reveal publicly the vote totals that counted. Yeah. Now, when I say vote totals, I won't say who exactly voted for who. I will say this person received X number of votes, this person received Y number of votes, this person will receive Z number of votes. In terms of progression, because obviously if there's 12 players and one person is eliminated, now there's 11, now you can't have 6 duos. If there's an odd number of players in the room, the person who does not have their tether anymore is immune, and they can vote. However, let's say you take that 11 down to 10. Now you have 2 players from 2 separate duos. At the final 10, both of them will become one tethered duo, and neither of them will be immune anymore. So they are both vulnerable to be voted for. Yeah, so that will happen for each time there is an even number of players in the room. Also, for this generation, I will offer crates before the generation. So at 2 p.m. EST today on March 5th, May 5th, I will reveal how you can obtain a crate, or the crates that I have available. The crates will contain items or advantages to help you navigate the format. Frequently asked questions, again. Can a player switch their room or their tether? If an item lets you, that's fine. If you don't have an item that lets you, then no. Can a player switch their vote during a round? Yes. So if you're indecisive or plans change and you need to change your vote, it's totally fine to send in your vote early and then change it before or during the deadline. So when I say that, I say, if the deadline is 2 o'clock p.m. EST, you may vote at 2:00 p.m. EST, but not at 2:01. You can vote at 1:59, 1:58. You can vote at 2, not 2:01. Can a player vote for someone in the other room? No. Rooms for this generation in particular are separated. All voting will happen within your own room, unless an advantage or an item allows a player to do otherwise. Can a player vote for themselves? Yes. However, this must be an active decision. That player must send a message to me saying, I am voting for myself. If a player doesn't vote at all, if you don't submit a vote, I'm considering that a null vote. So it's not added to the vote tally. It doesn't count as a vote against you. You just didn't vote. Kind of branching off that to another question, if one person in a tethered pair doesn't vote, then the other person's vote will automatically count as one vote cast against the person that they voted for. If both players in a tethered duo don't vote, then no votes will count. Do the tethered duos last beyond Generation Alpha? No. Each generation is completely separate from every other one, for this season at least. So after Generation Alpha ends, the tethered duos are done. What happens if there's a tie? So if there's a tie in the initial vote, say the tie is 4-4, let's say, then I will reveal the vote, and then 30 minutes from when I reveal the vote, because it may not necessarily be at the deadline based on how busy I am at that point, 30 minutes from when I reveal the vote, the tie vote will be due. If you don't vote by the end of that 30 minutes, I will assume that you voted for the same person you voted for originally, which is something that I don't have on here, but it is important. So lucky you for watching the video. If there is a second tie, so let's say the original vote is 4-4, we go to a second vote, it's still 4-4 because players in the tie can still vote. If there is that second tie, then there's a random draw between every single player in the room, regardless of whether you had immunity for any particular reason, or if you were in the tie, everybody goes into the random vote. When does the generation end? I don't know. Who knows? I do know, but you don't know. And yeah, if you have any other questions, please let me know. Please message me or ask publicly. If I deem it vital information, do be warned that I will reveal it to everyone. I will post my answer in the comments of this video slash like on the Facebook group in those comments. But also don't let that discourage you from asking questions, because ignorance is not bliss when it comes to that. If I have a decision in my head that I haven't specifically marked down and nobody asks the question about it, somebody should have asked the question. Yeah, that is everything for Generation Alpha. I hope you enjoyed.